Adam, thanks so much for being here. Well, just to dive right on in, we don't have very much time. I'm curious, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing in New York this weekend?
Yeah, my mom supported a play when it was really small in San Diego, and so I'm going to it's on Broadway now, so it's done really well, and I'm going to go to the opening.
Does your mom have a history with philanthropy?
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you describe her as a charitable person?
Very.
What about your father? Do you think that they share that characteristic?
Yes.
Interesting. What was your relationship like with your parents growing up?
They're super nice. I love both of them. They, always made sure we were happy and ate all the food off our plates and stuff like that. But I was a really picky eater, and my mom was very kind and made sure that I didn't have things like ketchup.
When you say we, I'm assuming you're referring to your two brothers?
Wait, what?
When you say we...
When did I say we?
Earlier you said we, as in we...
Can you read it back?
No, unfortunately I can't.
Well, let's just move on to a different question.
Can you confirm that you have two brothers?
Yeah, I have two brothers.
Do you think that your brothers would share the same sentiment you have about your parents?
Yeah.
So I guess you could say it was a happy, perfect family.
No.
Maybe some cracks in the facade?
No, it's just nothing's perfect.
What's in the cracks, Adam?
Well, my dad always had to work a lot when I was growing up.
That must have been hard without that male influence in your life.
Yeah, he worked sometimes like 8-9 hours a day.
Do you think that's maybe why you never got into rec league sports?
I played some rec league sports.
Yeah, but I don't really think lacrosse counts.
I also played water polo.
Do you think that that's a sign of your family's
and
income?
tennis. And
these are typically considered rich sports.
No.
Let's move on. Recently, you were part of a public radio session with the rap group Worldwide Wonders. Is this correct?
Yeah.
In one of these songs, Christopher Comrie, an artist in the said rap group, says the line, "No lives matter." Do you feel like that's an accurate description of the current state of affairs in the United States for the everyday citizen?
That no lives matter?
Correct.
I think that all lives matter.
Now, are you aware that the all lives matter has been associated to white supremacy? I don't think it's funny, to be honest.
I hadn't thought about that, but
do you think maybe that's because you come from a privileged background? Maybe you've watched too many water polo games instead of following what's going on with protests?
I think that's definitely possible.
Have you ever seen two horses fight to the death?
Nah.
That seems like something rich people would do. What's caviar taste like?
I don't really like this topic.
I don't know what to tell you. I guess let me think for a minute. Do you know anything about the state of affairs in Argentina right now?
Currently? They always have political turmoil.
Is that something that your family has to deal with?
No, they did. My grandfather was involved in, not politics, but he was like part of the embassy, and so that's why they moved to the United States. So it got really shitty for them.
Getting a phone call, but I'm not going to take it. I'm a professional. Closing out, do you ever feel like your life is unfulfilled? And if so, what aspects?
Sure. I think everybody should feel that way. If anybody considers themselves completely fulfilled, that's kind of depressing. Of course, like the opposite side of that is also depressing, thinking about like.
Do you think it's ironic
totally
that
underfulfilled?
It's sad to feel like you're happy?
Well, I usually just think it's like somewhat of a projection of what you think other people want you to be, and so you get to that point, but like it's some people are just naturally happy. I mean, I think I'm happy, but I think that I'm also sometimes sad. So
you're saying you have just pretty much basic human emotions?
yeah, I think so.
Have you ever felt like killing anything?
Killing anything?
It doesn't have to be people. It can be small animals.
I mean, I've gone fishing before, but yeah.
Do you really think that constitutes? I'm talking about the craving of removing life from a living thing.
When I was a little kid, I think I stamped on some anthills.
Intentionally?
Yeah, I think that I was just, attracted to the idea of chaos. But subconsciously, I didn't understand. I don't think I understood that at the time.
Do you really believe that? That subconsciously you don't understand the impact of what you do?
As a young child?
Adam, you took life
correct.
intentionally. Have you ever talked to anybody about this before?
No, not you. Not except you.
You understand that you don't have...
You've taken life intentionally, too.
As a part of a predatorial nature, you can make the comment that it's systematically how I was raised based on the culture I was born into.
Yeah.
That was 10 minutes. I didn't like how that went.
No.
I didn't really want to do this anyway. I don't really like you. I wish that you would leave.
Yep.
Don't touch me. Ow. I told you, noses.